On April 8, 2013, one of the most beautiful and charismatic film stars to ever grace the silver screen, Sara Montiel, died suddenly of cardiac arrest in her Madrid penthouse. A few days before passing away, she had assured family, friends, and media at her 85th birthday that she would never consider retirement. Unfortunately, fate had different plans. The news of her passing away and obituary ran in every major newspaper in the world, witnessing her enormous popularity and widespread appeal. Though she left the stage for others to climb, Sara Montiel left behind a legacy of films and recordings that had already turned her into a legend even in her lifetime. In this video, we'll be going back in time to discover some of the glamorous moments that immortalize this icon of yesterday in the memory of men. Just before we get into it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button for 10 days of good luck. Comment "I subscribed" and we'll try our best to personally get back to you. Ready for Sara Montiel fun facts? Let's get into it. The Genesis. Born Maria Antonia Abad Fernandez on March 10, 1928, in the village of Campo de Criptana, province of Ciudad Real, in the Castilla Mancha region of Spain. Sara Montiel is the daughter of Isidoro Abad, a peasant who later opened a bar, and Maria Vicenta Fernandez. Barely in her teens, she won a beauty and talent contest headed by Cefesa, the most influential film studio at that time in Spain. As the winner, she was signed to a movie contract, and in 1944 made her debut in the film Te Quiero para mí, credited in the cast as Maria Alejandra. Despite the small part, the young actress caught the attention of producers and directors who realized her enormous potential, and by the end of 1944, she was given the starring role in the film Empezó en Boda, which introduced her with a new image and sophisticated blonde named Sara Montiel. She got her stage name from a colleague. Sara was her grandmother's first name. Montiel was chosen after Campos de Montiel, or Fields Montiel, located in La Mancha, the land of her birth. Soon, her colleagues started calling her Sarita, Little Sara, due to her extreme youth. The nickname caught on with the press and the public consequently. Since then, both Sara and Sarita have been used in her credits and publicity. In the next 4 years, Sarita Montiel appeared in 14 films, including her first international success, A Cura de Amor, which led to a contract in Mexico, where she established herself as one of the most popular film actors of the decade, making a total of 13 films between 1950 and 1955. Due to her popularity in Mexico, Hollywood producers showed interest, and she was formally introduced to American moviegoers in the 1954 Veracruz, starring Gary Cooper and Burt Lancaster. Later, she filmed for Warner Bros. In the 1955 Serenade with Mario Lanza, Joan Fontaine, and Vincent Price, directed by Anthony Mann, who became her first husband 2 years later. Acting career. It was in Mexico that Sara first learned how to read and write, taught by the poet Felipe León. Hollywood came calling afterward, and she was introduced to United States moviegoers in the film Veracruz in 1954, directed by Robert Aldrich. She was offered the standard 7-year contract at Columbia Pictures, which she refused, afraid of Hollywood's typecasting policies for Hispanics. Instead, she freelanced at Warner Bros. In the 1956 Serenade, directed by Robert Mann, and at RKO in 1957 Samuel Fuller's Run of the Arrow. A megastar is born. After starring in Samuel Fuller's Run of the Arrow with Rod Steiger, Brian Keith, and Charles Bronson, Sarita went to Spain in 1957 to film a low-budget El Último Couple, The Last Song, a musical production which became the biggest box office success in Spain's film history. It played for over a year in the same theaters in which it opened. A similar reaction followed in Western Europe and Latin America. It became a worldwide mega hit and made Montiel a film and singing superstar. After The Last Torch song, she combined filming, recording songs in 5 languages, and performing live. In no time, Sarita Montiel had become the most popular actor-singer of 1957 and a national treasure for Spain. La Violetera. The unprecedented success of El Último Couple threw a wrench into Sarita's Hollywood career, as she was offered a multi-million-dollar contract to star in 4 films in Europe. Her next vehicle, La Violetera, The Violet Peddler, confirmed Sara's popularity and broke the box office records set by the previous movie. The theme song from La Violetera became Montiel's signature song. The soundtrack albums from both films reportedly outsold Presley and Sinatra in the world market. From then on, Sarita would combine the making of films with the recording of highly successful albums and live concerts. She had the highest film pay. Almost all of her films earned high box office results. Among the films during the 1960s and early 1970s were The Violet Cellar. Her fee for this film was $1 million, which was something unheard of for a Spanish star in those days. After starring in the 1974 film Cinco Almohadas para una Noche, Montiel announced her retirement from movies, complaining about the almost nudity turn taken by the Spanish film industry after censorship was abolished in the post-Franco era. She now concentrated on stage musicals, performing live, recording, and starring on her variety television shows in Spain, including Sara en Persona from 1970 to 1973, Saratissima in 1974 to 1975, Incredible Sara 1977 to 1978, and Super Sara Show from 1979 to 1980, which were highly successful. In the 1990s, Sara surprised everyone by starring in her television show, Sara y Punto, a miniseries of 7 one-hour episodes which includes a serialized biography of the star and many world-famous guests. The adoption. Despite all the glory that Miss Montiel achieved throughout the years, she considered motherhood the crowning achievement of her life. For years, she had tried to conceive children of her own, but due to a recurring physical disability, she suffered several painful miscarriages. Finally, she opted for adoption, and in 1979 became the mother of a newly born Brazilian baby girl named Thais. That same year, she married her longtime companion and manager, José Pepe Tus, after her previous marriage to Vicente Ramirez Olalla was annulled by the Catholic Church. Later, in 1983, the Montiel-Tus couple adopted in Spain a baby boy, whom they named Zeus. Thais and Zeus brought joy and purpose to the private life of Sara Montiel, the woman. Raising her children became the main priority, to the point of taking them along in some international concert dates whenever school duties allowed it. The family met with tragedy in 1992 when Pepe Tus was struck down by cancer, a painful loss for the star and the children. Eternity. Montiel died in 2013 at her home in Madrid at the age of 85 from congestive heart failure and was buried in the San Justo Cemetery in Madrid. Lasting legacy. It is quite impossible to cover here all the awards Sara Montiel has won in her long, successful career, but we must mention the Premio del Sindicato, Spain's equivalent to Hollywood Oscar at the time, for Best Actress, which she won for 2 years in a row for her performance in El Último Couple and La Violetera. She's considered one of the most important actresses in the history of Spain and has been described by Spain's press as a myth of Spanish cinema. Montiel has also been characterized as the most beautiful woman of 20th century Spain. She appears in nearly 50 films and recorded about 500 songs. Undaunted by the passage of time and ignoring critics who accused her of mishandling her legendary image, Sara Montiel continued living and working at a hectic pace in the heart of upcoming Hollywood stars. Find any of these facts interesting? Let's hear those thoughts in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, smash the like button and subscribe for more of our interesting celebrity videos.